Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering Season 10 in the Pokemon franchise, which starts the Diamond and Pearl series and the movie Rise of Darkrai.
Ash travels to his next destination, the Sinnoh region, to compete in the next league. And upon his arrival, he reunites with Brock and meets a new girl named Dawn, who is just starting her own Pokemon journey.
Yes, and before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yes, and Dawn's mom was a former champion and a beauty queen, and Dawn seems to be competing with her mom. And we loved in the beginning when she had this trunk of clothes and wanted to take it with her before she left with Ash after the first 2 episodes, and her mom's like, no! And we're like, yeah, you need to take that.
Yeah, and you know what? I kind of wish she was able to take the trunk. One of them hilarious, her dragging that thing everywhere, and 2, she would have had a different outfit on every episode.
She would have been like Jessie.
Right, that would have been hilarious. I would have loved to see that.
Yes.
So really interesting that even started off like that with having a whole new character start off the series. I think if you didn't know better, you would have thought the show went from Ash to someone else altogether.
We were wondering, like, is this right? Because she got the first 2 episodes.
Right, and Ash wasn't even in there. You know, you saw Pikachu towards the end of one of them, and then by the 3rd episode, he finally showed up. So I guess they had to. This is how they meet up.
Right.
So yes, that was really different. And like I said, now we got a new girl here. So we've had Misty, we've had May, now we got Dawn.
Misty May Dawn.
Misty May Dawn.
Catch a pattern.
Right?
And then she has a different outfit. Now she has on the shortest skirt out of the 3 girls we've seen. She's got another cute little outfit. Pink and blue seem to be the main colors. And as we mentioned, she's new. So her first Pokemon is the little bird.
Yes, a Piplup?
Yes.
I think it's a Piplup, yeah.
And he's cute. And then of course she
he has to bond with him.
Yes, and then she starts getting more of them. But the difference between Dawn versus Misty and May is Dawn kind of comes in with a slightly arrogant attitude in terms of wanting to win the contest. And again, I think it's because she wants to meet her mother's expectations or surpass them.
Right, because you can.
And I think that's what it is. It's not so much as she thinks she's better. She thinks she has to be better so her mom will approve and be happy, because you remember in this beginning of the season when she had her contest and her mom was like, well, don't get lax and think you've got it and you've got to do better, and you know, and instead of telling her something supportive and nice, it was more critical. And I think she developed that attitude because, you know, my mom was and she was telling people my mom was a champion. And I'm trying to, you know, reach her status.
Right. So yeah, there's this whole arc with this going on in the Diamond and Pearl series. I don't know if it's going to end before or in the final season when it gets to season 14. But for now, this is kind of what's going on with her, which is why she's been in so many contests. I think this series, they've been in more contests than battles this time. They are having battles, of course, which we'll get to in a minute, but it seems like they're doing a lot more contests now, and even did a beauty pageant at one point. Yes. It's like, wait a minute, what happened to the battles? What happened to the contest? What is this?
That was a fun part, though, seeing the Pokemon.
Right, the Pokemon to mimic other Pokemon.
And Brock's Pokemon that sits and I don't know.
Well, okay,
poisons him, stuns him all the time. Actually did a better job than the other Pokemon.
Right. Oh yeah, I mentioned all the new Pokemon they got in here.
Yes.
And the new region and the new characters. And mostly we're kind of like, why are you
Sinnoh doesn't have a lot of nice trainers.
Yeah. Oh now I do know this is. I believe this is Sylveon's favorite region. I think it's been a while. And
Paul.
Right. Yeah, and Paul with the favorite rivalry. But I think, yeah, for this one, for Sinnoh, you can kind of tell the different edge. Maybe because the trainers and professors are more advanced in terms of the Pokemon and the region. Because you think about the other
Paul and Hunter J.
Yeah, because you think about the other 2 regions, they were kind of more lax. They were more fun and adventurous. This one's a different type of adventure. It's more of the getting strong type of adventure and strength battles and stuff. Looks like what they're doing here. Because you get to hear, and a lot of the antagonists are very cruel if you think about it. Because you have Hunter J, who captures petrifies and sells off
Right.
Pokemon as she finds. She's so bad, even Team Rocket wants to take her down.
She doesn't find them, she hunts them down.
Yes, I said hunts them, yeah. And she's so awful that even Team Rocket doesn't want to deal with it. They want to take her down too, like Ash. And then you have Team Galactic, who want a new world order. It's like, where are these people coming from? Why are they so extravagant now? Why haven't they just prepare for trouble?
Right. Make it double. So you also get to see more of Team Rocket.
Yes!
Speaking of Team Market. Speaking of Team Rocket.
Yes, well, they do go to the market once or twice to get some food finally.
So
But
you
yes,
get to
we're
see
Team
more of them.
Rocket!
And you get to see them be more kooky. And you get to see Jessie do more costumes. Now, some of them this time, usually in the past, they've had some costumes that were cute. Yes, they've worn the wrong costumes, but still they were cute.
Mhm.
And some of her costumes now are really bright and
Flashy.
They look more like the Monster High reboot clothes.
Oh, yeah, they're a little more flashy now when she's just Alina. She's
They're
got
just
one
different
stick costume.
colors and patterns all together in those big giant glasses.
It's like, what the?
and-
Well, you don't have to do that much of a disguise. They don't know who you are anyway when you put
Right.
something else on other than your Team Rocket
Right.
outfit. Oh, and we definitely gotta mention before we get to about the battles and stuff, because we have not gotten to a league yet. We need to mention, since we're on the subject of Team Rocket, besides having really awesome and amazing episodes, Jessie finally won a contest!
Yes.
Not just one, but two. An unofficial one with Apom and an official one.
And she didn't cheat in either one. And in the unofficial one, she got confident.
Right.
And that's how she beat everyone else. She was relaxed. But and then in the next one, she really got relaxed and really let her Pokemon shine.
Right, and everyone,
Yes, Fox.
yeah, and James and Meow, they were crying. They're like, "Oh, she finally won!" And yes, Mama was crying too.
Fun.
Now, y'all also mentioned that, like I said, they have a lot of great episodes in here, and they actually have a lot more tearjerkers both in season 10 and 11. They start getting more emotional ones. Like, they start to have this theme where some of them start losing their Pokemon, or they let them go so they can get stronger with someone else. So that was definitely brought tearjerkers.
And it seems like James just can't keep his Pokemon. They keep taking his Pokemon away.
Yeah, and then Jessie loses hers later on, which we'll get into for next season. But yeah, it seemed like, okay, he keeps losing Pokemon, she's losing Pokemon. Ash is probably gonna lose one later at some point. So we know
he's lost quite
right.
a few in the past season.
Right, we know this happens every season. Someone loses their Pokemon, or they let them get stronger, or they let them migrate with the other Pokemon or something. So we know this is normal. It's just that for Team Rocket, it starts to happen more frequently than it does with Ash or Dawn or Brock.
Right. Now, speaking of Brock begins to really develop his Pokemon breeding skills, and he's working with some of the Nurse Joys, and he's doing all these different things with different trainers they meet, and he's really shining. So it's really great to see Brock take a front seat and begin to do more in this season.
Not just cooking or falling for every Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny,
which he still does,
trainer.
but he's still letting his talents and skills shine and develop.
And some of them are actually liking him back.
Yes!
Which I think Ash was kind of like freaking out. Like, what? He doesn't know what to say anymore because some of them are starting to actually accept his advances.
Yeah.
Other than Grogar, who just keeps hitting them in the behind every time he starts flirting. Instead of being pulled on the ear like with Max or Misty, he gets kicked in the butt and then he's like collapses. And then he's back 2 minutes later, like, how are you back already?
So, this particular season was a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It was great seeing the battles. Again, some of the less sympathetic and meaner trainers and Hunter J, no.
Right.
And I'll be glad when they're gone.
Right.
But then this also led to the movie.
Rise of Darkrai.
Yes.
But oh wait, there was one more thing we gotta get to before that. Where I mentioned about Paul, because I think he's pretty popular when it comes to this particular season.
Okay.
Yeah, for here, Paul is not very nice.
He's hardcore.
He's hardcore.
Too hardcore.
Yes, and this also brings up quite a few new things.
And Chimchar is so cute.
Right.
Chimchar is so cute.
And it also brings up new things for the franchise. Now we know it's gonna take Ash a while before he gets to League because we keep going back and forth between contests, battles, talent shows, retries, and Team Rocket and movies. So it's gonna be a little while before he gets to League. As for the battle, they introduced new things like they're doing the double team where they have two Pokemon fight at the same time. They've done more team up battles where you have to work with another trainer and their Pokemon along with your Pokemon. They also have one where there are people that want to collect the whole evolutionary set of one Pokemon.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so they'll have 3 of the same one in different forms.
Right.
And there's also building up the strength of a Pokemon, like it's not just ones that have strengths or weaknesses with like, oh, this one's strong as this type's weaker as this type. So instead they start having Ash and Paul. This way he kind of learns from Paul is that he can strengthen the Pokemon. It won't even matter if this type is weaker against this type. They still have a chance to win if they're strong enough. So they don't have to just rely on which type is stronger than this type. They can just keep training them and making them stronger, so that way they can beat them even if they're supposed to be the polar opposite type.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see if next season Paul has a change of heart, Hunter J gets her butt put in jail, if Jessie wins any more contests, and to see the growth of both Ash and Dawn, and all 3, Ash, Dawn, and Brock more in season 11.
Right.
Now, the movie, Darkrai.
Yes, Rise of Darkrai. Now we can get to it. Yeah, this was a very, very different movie.
And for me, the most interesting part is them telling the creation story involving the 2 Pokemon.
Yes, they kind of mix in the creation and the evolution story into here, where there were like 2 Pokemon at the beginning of time, and the one controls time, the other controls space, and they're not supposed to meet each other. Somehow they end up meeting each other, and they're in a cosmic battle that if no matter who wins, it will result in the end of existence as we know it. It's like, what kind of movie is this? You sure it's not the end of the series? Right. The way this is built up, it's not like the end.
Now, this movie was really popular in Japan when it premiered. It made almost $50 million in 2007 in July.
Yeah, so clearly that this was more of an action movie. So this action take was actually doing very well, because we know in the last couple movies, not counting like Lucario, they've had action, but it's more in the adventurous type, and they've kind of kept it that fun little pace and the extraordinary part, and then Lucario had more of the story part of the Pokemon lore. And in this one, where even more Pokemon lore, we're having these 2 time and space being Pokemon. It's like, now you know where the Pokemon come from. And then Darkrai, who's literally a shadow, if you think about it, he's a shadow, and he has all these mysterious powers. He can make people swap places. He can have them dream, and you see their spirits or something while they're sleeping. He can make people change forms and stuff. So there was actually a lot of interesting parts to not only this Pokemon, but to the movie itself in terms of doing new concepts and almost like, dimension traveling.
And the fun fact is the new person in the game who's doing Brock's voice also does Darkrai.
Oh, okay, so double work.
Yes. And it was, as you said, a very different type of movie. And I think it's interesting how Ash always ends up meeting these rare or ancient Pokemon wherever he goes. He always ends up being the one to meet them.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, because every movie that has happened, whether he remembers it or not, I mean, after Mewtwo, he should be pretty famous for seeing all these Pokemon in one lifetime.
You would think so.
Yeah, like, if I Mewtwo met Latias and Lugia and so-and-so met the time and space Pokemon, he should be, like, in the history books. But no, he's still going on adventures and no publicity whatsoever. It's like, you should be like on Time magazine or something.
And I think what's interesting for me was the way that the movie ended. Darkrai and his contribution, and how they really had to try to convince him to do what he did. Right.
And like we said, for the terms of the story, when that comes into play, they work off with 2 other. Well, one's a trainer and one's I guess you could say a geologist, like a Pokemon geologist. And they have, of course, this little mini romance story with them and a love triangle and so forth. But the Pokemon Darkrai has a connection to the woman, and he thinks that it's the woman that helped him decades ago, that healed him when he was injured and sick. And he keeps coming back to the same garden, visiting her. And when he comes back after so much time has passed, he thinks it's the same girl because they look alike. And it turns out this is the woman's granddaughter.
Right.
So he's kind of heartbroken to know, like, the one that he was friends with was no longer around. And it comes into play when he doesn't want to trust humans because she was the only one that he trusted. And when we see this a lot in the themes for Pokemon, where they have a hard time trusting humans. Like we saw with Lucario.
Well, I mean, look what happens with Hunter J and a lot of other events.
Yeah.
You kind of understand why they feel that way, especially the ones who are considered ancient, who've been living for hundreds of years. They've seen a lot of crap, and they've met a lot of crappy people. So yeah, it's difficult for them to trust because it's based on, you know, the hundreds of years of memories that they have.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is probably one of the best movies. I think right now our favorite has gotta be still Lucario.
Yes,
Lucario
definitely.
and the Mystery of Mew. But this was definitely another change of pace for Pokemon. And I can't wait to see what the 11th movie is going to be about, because now it looks like Diamond and Pearl is going into some really out there lands, adventures, and Pokemon. I mean, you got time and space Pokemon, you got darkness Pokemon. We're going to have one that's pretty much their equivalent of the Almighty himself. So, oh my gosh, like how much bigger can this franchise get with these extremely powerful, legendary, mystical, magical, whatever category Pokemon?
And as you mentioned, we're beginning to see a lot of new ones, and we're beginning to see other forms of Lucario as well.
Right.
So, we know you've seen season 10. We know you love the movie.
Sylveon.
So let us know what you think in the comments below, and let us know who are your favorite new Pokemon that appear in this season.
Yes. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and more to pause videos.
Chimchar is adorable.
Yes! So thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Hit her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to you later on in the form of